225 Wacker Drive. Round air vents turn into round windows on the base of 225. The same marble accents the base of both buildings. The metal window plates are modern takes on the Art Deco merchandise mart window plates across the river. These plates have giant rivets on the corner meant to mimic the rivets you see here on the side of the bridges. Holding the railings on there, those metal plates. And there's more once we get to the front of 225 Wacker Drive. You may also have noticed that none of these buildings have terribly creative names. It's either the address or the company that owns most of the floors that they're named after. So if it helps you remember them, you can nickname them as you see fit. I call this one Phyllis.
I really want to admire this
And near the ledge at the top, or on the ledge near the top up there, is a light that looks a lot like one of the bowl-shaped planters on the edge of Wacker Drive. And at the very top and center of it, a structure spanning the gap that looks like one of the bridges on the river. So this building is either commenting on, paying tribute to, or making fun of many of the other elements surrounding it on the river back there. A postmodern architectural device. We'll see some more of that postmodern style here in just a moment, but just about anybody trying anything new often ends up under the postmodern category a lot of the time, so you get a pretty broad range of ideas going on there. Hello. Wacker Drive on the right of us, this two-leveled street. Like much of Chicago, Wacker Drive is both laid out and designed according to Daniel Burnham's City Beautiful plan for Chicago. That city plan is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, and Burnham's city plan is what took Chicago from industrial chaos into the livable city that you see today. Daniel Burnham also did the city plans for Washington, D.C., Manila, and Cleveland, but he lived here in Chicago until he had to move to Evanston because it got so dirty downtown, but that was another reason for the city beautiful plan. With Wacker Drive, Burnham wanted it to be practical, so it has two levels for commercial traffic to run underneath, and he wanted it to be aesthetically pleasing, so it was designed to resemble the riverfront in Paris that runs along the Seine, to give a classy, romantic European flair to a dirty industrial Chicago back in the day. Now this one was going to be a new 90-story tall hotel called the Shangri-La, but nobody's worked on it for more than a year now. So right now it is a visual aid to the early stages of skyscraper construction. Yeah. Sounds better than eyesore. The United Airlines building on the right looks like they took an ancient Greek temple and stretched it out into a modern skyscraper. The work of James DeStefano and Ricardo Bofill from the early 90s. Taking the old, making it new. Just reinventing new and creative ways to present an old form again. Make comments about the past or surprise us with something we're used to in a new way. And you get kind of that same idea with this next one right after the bridge here. Hello.
Again, under the ground.
35 Wacker Drive, the Leo Burnett building on the right side appears to be entirely in the shape of a giant classical column, like the shape of the columns at the entrance to the building there. So Kevin Roche, the architect, taking one element of design and creating an entire building out of the concept there. Jumping ahead though, diagonally to the right ahead of us is a green building with a shiny gold top on it. That's the old Carbon and Carbide building, which is said to be inspired by a bottle of champagne at an office party during the Prohibition days. It was designed by the sons of Daniel Burnham, and today it's the Hard Rock Hotel after a lot of renovating. And there it is again with the gold top. Just to the right of us is the Jewelers building with the dome on top, modeled after a 15th century chapel in Italy. And the four towers on the corners used to be water towers for the building. Al Capone used to run a speakeasy called the Stratosphere just underneath of that dome up there. And the building had a unique elevator where you could drive your car right into the building, and the elevator took you and the car as far as the 22nd floor. You could get right out of your car and walk right into your office. Extra safety for the jewelers, or the gangsters, depending on how you look at it. The thin tower of a building on the right is Mather Tower. That's covered in a Gothic-inspired terracotta, a kind of baked clay, supposed to be fireproof, except for the very top section, which is a brighter white than the rest of the building. There's some delicate features on the top, and the top was falling apart a few years back. So to keep that from ever happening again, that new top section was made out of aluminum. They floated it down the river on a barge, and one single helicopter picked it up and dropped it.
Now I'm just coming onto the back end of this cruise just to make this movie a real life. Now you see the real beauty of this city. Oh my God.
And that's when this used to be the lakefront right here. All the problems going on over the base. It'll probably be done by the time we get there, but we'll talk more about that when we close it. It becomes more penalties. This modern style building on the right is One Illinois Center, another Liberty Means Valley Roadside, which makes that a special modern
ये तो देखने हो जाएगा so much. I really just want to just see this freak, one of the four freaks from Dayton, Ohio, Lexus MC Makichuk.
सारे वीडियो की
बीट बजाने पड़ेगी.
अरे इनको चिड़ियाघर से किसने निकाला? अभी जाते जाते इनको लिंकन में छोड़ जाते हैं.
ये देखिए शिकागो की ओर बढ़ता हुआ किसी की परवाह न करते हुए स्थानीय. आप इस कह रहे देखिए
अमेरिका झंडा ले लो, अमेरिका झंडा ले लो, अमेरिका झंडा ले लो.
सोनू का नाम मत लेना, सोनू का नाम
मैं कह रहा हूँ अमेरिका झंडा ले लो.
यस
पानी 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 ओए होए इधर यहाँ जा नहीं सकते क्या?
Okay, one of the freak is coming in front of the camera. Yes. What you really want to express your thoughts about this trip?
This has been an unbelievable experience. Previous to this, I was not really sure how United States of America is, because previous to that, I visited Knoxville, Tennessee and Dayton, Ohio, and I didn't like it much. Oh, आप क्या खिलाते हैं? आप आ जाए.
Cut. Come on.
अरे बहुत ओवर एक्टिंग कर रहा है इसको.
Let him be.
अरे मेरा तो अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस है. I find this city better than New York. If you minus Manhattan, this city is much better than New York.
And one of the
You need to stay out of there.
Oh.
You can't be on that back.